Good day to and welcome. Today I'm gonna show you whether Angvik is any good. Angvik is a platformer with rogue-like elements, meaning that there are no save spots, you have to finish the whole game in one run, and there are classes. There is about 7 classes, and of course you can randomize. Each of them has different equipment to begin with, such as if you choose a king, you have 3 pieces of armor and 1 sword. If you choose a lancer, you have 2 lances which you can throw. You can't actually stab with them, you can only throw them, and 2 pieces of armor. Every piece of armor gives you 1 extra health, and if you get hit by anything, this piece of armor shatters. Of course, there is an equipment throughout the game which you can acquire. So if you, for example, lose your armor as the chest piece, you can get it rather easily in the second part, which is easy to get there. But all the drops are random, so if you lose your chest piece and you kill a minion, you can actually get a glove from them. But you have your bird with you, and the bird serves as an inventory, which means that once you store these gloves in the bird or in the inventory, and your gloves get shattered, you just equip new ones automatically, I have to say. The length of the game is 5 levels, which means that if you know what you're doing somewhat, or if you're good at platforming, you can get it done in about 8 up to 10 minutes. One of the reasons why it can't take you that long is that you age. And if a level takes you a rather long time, you're gonna die of long age. Usually I think the limit is 5 minutes, so the maximum of how much you can spend within the game is 25 minutes, but it's manageable in about 8 up to 10. In terms of design and visuals, the level design itself is quite good, I'd say. It's really unforgiving and sometimes really annoying because of the randomness of the enemies, but overall the design is good. I like the graphics, but I don't like the sound also, I have to say. It's somewhat underdone, undercooked. They could have spent a little extra time with the sound design. Yet here comes the issues. So one of the issues I had was performance. Even though I have a new PC and I tried it on the Intel HD graphics, it didn't work. This simple 2D platformer just lagged so much I wasn't able to play it at all. And when I tried the extra graphics, you know, the dedicated one, it was fine. But like 2D platformer shouldn't require such power to run it properly. It should be fine with the newest 6th series Intel HD. And here comes the second issue, which is even larger than the performance one, and that's controls. It's so weird. There is a bit of delay, it's not really tight. I don't know, it just ruined my whole experience. I tried it first on keyboard, where the keyboard seemed to have a slight delay and I really wasn't able to do it properly, but I got a bit used to it, you know, got on with the game, but the controls themselves are really annoying. And I thought, okay, so this is probably created with controller in mind. So I plugged in the controller, tried it with controller. It's better with controller, I have to say, yet the unresponsiveness is still there, even though it's slightly better. And I'm not used to controllers, so for me saying that actually controller is better than keyboard is something weird. I only experienced this once with Dark Souls series. In this case it was actually better, but it still wasn't good. I don't know. The platform, if your platformer is tight, then it's great. But if the controls are really loose and they require some kind of precision, you know, sometimes you have to jump really weirdly because the enemies have rather small hitboxes. So you think that you are actually jumping at them, but you're like missing them by, let's say, 1 or 2 pixels. And that's it, because the hitboxes are not correspondent to the pictures. They are not correspondent to the model. Therefore, you can hit the model, but you don't hit the hitbox. And that's really annoying if you don't have tight controls. If you have loose controls which just are more or less hitting that, that's not great. And I have to say that this thing really ruined my experience. I also feel that I have to point out that there are no checkpoints. As I said already, you have to finish the game in one go, which is really annoying, because if you get to a new stage, let's say the 3rd, the 4th one, then you don't know what's gonna get there, what you should expect. And if you die, you have to once again do the previous 3. Like, yes, you're learning them, but this is unnecessary, and I really felt like this is just the waste of my time. Considering that the game has 5 levels, if they were to give you checkpoints at the end of each level, you would just finish the game pretty quickly. You know, it would take you about, let's say, those 30 minutes, or maybe 40 minutes. But this way, they somewhat faked the length of the game and created a design which, for people who are not really good at platforming, gives the length of the gameplay like 2, maybe 2.5 hours, because, well, if you just suck as I do, then it's gonna take you about 2 hours to finish. Angvik is an interesting platformer for people who are into platformers. It has roguelike elements which actually give some life to the game. It makes it somewhat different, with all the different weapons and armors and sets and potions and the bird and extra small little features. It has nice graphics, but I cannot forgive them for the performance issues, for the controls issues, for lack of checkpoints. These 3 things are crucial to me, and because of this, I'm gonna say that Angvik is, well, somewhere between bad and average. Angvik is currently available on Steam for €2.99 or your regional equivalent, which is a solid price, I have to say. It used to be more, it got lower, and as it stands, I can recommend it only to people who are into platforming. If you are looking for a platformer which is different, Angvik is different, yet in a somewhat bad way, so take a look somewhere else. Go for Fast, go for Super Meat Boy, which is just a legend among the modern platformers. But if you want to get Angvik, make sure that you like platforming. I hope that you enjoyed the video, and if you did, don't forget to like it down below and share it with your friends, or right away subscribe to this channel up there. Well, feel free to comment, and thanks for watching. My name is Bibekarization. See you next time.